Have you ever wondered if you're lasting long enough, or if what you experience in the bedroom is actually normal? Because here's the truth that most men will never admit out loud. At some point, almost every man has quietly asked himself, am I too fast or too slow? And the scary part, most of the answers floating around online are either exaggerated, unrealistic, or completely misleading. Some say real men should last 30 minutes, others claim hours. And then there's adult content that sets expectations so unrealistic. It leaves millions of men feeling insecure, anxious, and confused. But today, we're going to break the silence. We're going to talk honestly, scientifically, and clearly about the average sex timing of a healthy man, what's normal, what's not, and what actually matters far more than just lasting longer. Because by the end of this video, you won't just have answers. You'll have peace of mind. Let's start with the question that's probably on your mind right now. How long does sex actually last for a healthy man? Not what movies show, not what friends brag about, but real, medically studied, honest numbers. According to multiple clinical studies conducted across different countries, the average time a man lasts during intercourse, specifically from penetration to ejaculation, is between 5 to 7 minutes. Yes, you heard that right. Not 30 minutes, not an hour. Just around 5 to 7 minutes. Now pause for a second and let that sink in. Because if you've ever felt like you're not enough because you don't last extremely long, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're probably completely normal. In fact, research published in reputable medical journals found that most couples fall within a range of about 3 to 10 minutes. Anything within this range is generally considered healthy and normal. But here's where things get interesting. Because average doesn't always mean satisfying. And lasting longer doesn't automatically mean better intimacy. You see, one of the biggest myths men believe is this: the longer I last, the better I am in bed. But that's not entirely true. Because satisfaction in intimacy isn't just about time. It's about connection, communication, rhythm, emotional presence, and understanding your partner. In fact, some studies suggest that many women actually prefer intercourse that lasts between 7 to 13 minutes, not excessively long sessions that become tiring or uncomfortable. So if you're within that average range, you're already closer to ideal than you think. But then comes the next question. What if you last less than that? What if it's 1 minute? Or even less? This is where we talk about something that affects millions of men worldwide, but very few openly discuss. premature ejaculation. This is typically defined as ejaculation that happens within about 1 minute of penetration, or even before it, consistently and without control. And if that's something you're experiencing, it doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're weak. It simply means your body and mind are reacting in a certain way, often influenced by anxiety, stress, overstimulation, or even habit patterns developed over time. Because here's something most people don't tell you. Your brain plays a huge role in how long you last. Performance anxiety, overthinking, fear of judgment, all of these can speed things up dramatically. The more you worry about finishing too fast, the more likely it is to happen. It becomes a cycle, a frustrating silent cycle. But here's the good news. This is something that can be improved. With the right awareness, techniques, and mindset, men can significantly increase control over time. Simple methods like controlled breathing, slowing down, taking pauses, and focusing on sensation rather than performance can make a huge difference. Even small changes can shift your experience from anxiety-driven to connection-driven. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, some men struggle with the opposite issue. They last too long, or find it very difficult to finish at all. This is often called delayed ejaculation. And while it may sound like an advantage to some, it can actually create frustration, fatigue, and emotional distance over time. Because intimacy isn't meant to feel like a performance that never ends. It's meant to feel natural, mutual, and satisfying for both people. So whether it's too fast or too slow, balance is the key. Now let's talk about something even more important than timing, because this might surprise you. The most satisfying intimate experiences are not measured in minutes. They're measured in connection, eye contact, touch, emotional closeness, understanding your partner's needs, being present in the moment, because you can last 20 minutes and still feel disconnected. Or you can last 5 minutes and create a deeply fulfilling experience. That's the difference most people don't understand. And that's why focusing only on timing can actually hurt your confidence rather than help it. Now you might be wondering, does age affect how long a healthy man lasts? The answer is yes. But not always in the way people think. Younger men often experience faster arousal and quicker climax due to higher sensitivity and hormonal intensity. As men grow older, they may develop better control, but also face challenges like reduced stamina or changes in arousal patterns. However, A healthy lifestyle plays a far bigger role than age alone. Men who stay physically active, manage stress, eat well, and maintain emotional well-being often experience much better control and performance, regardless of age. Which brings us to another important point. Your overall health is directly connected to your sexual performance. Conditions like stress, poor sleep, lack of exercise, and even excessive screen time can impact your stamina and control. And then there are habits, like frequent consumption of unrealistic adult content, which can desensitize the brain and create distorted expectations. Over time, this can make real intimacy feel less stimulating or harder to control. So if you truly want to improve your timing, you don't just focus on the bedroom. You focus on your life as a whole. Because a healthy mind and a healthy body create a healthy experience. Now let's talk about confidence. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about how long you last. It's about how you feel about yourself. Confidence doesn't come from comparing yourself to unrealistic standards. It comes from understanding your body, accepting what's normal, and improving what's in your control. When you stop chasing perfection and start focusing on connection, everything changes. You relax, you enjoy the moment. And ironically, that's when performance naturally improves. So if there's one thing you take away from this video, let it be this. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to be present, aware, and real. Because the truth is, most men are far more normal than they think. They just don't hear it enough. And that silence creates unnecessary pressure. But now you know. Now you understand what's real. And that understanding is power. So the next time doubt creeps in, remember this. You're not alone. You're not behind, and you're not failing. You're human. And that's more than enough. If this video helped clear your doubts or gave you a new perspective, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can give someone is reassurance. And if you want more honest, real talk content about health, relationships, and confidence, stay connected, because we're just getting started.